Hey everyone, it's UrbanAJ and I'm back with my next video. So I thought I would start a new segment on my channel called Let's Talk About. So this week's edition of Let's Talk About is let's talk about what it's like to be an Afro-Latina. Okay, so just to give you guys a little bit of a definition, because some of you guys may not be aware of, what is it? What does it mean to be an Afro-Latino or an Afro-Latina? So, there you can be an Afro-Latino or an Afro-Latina if you are fully Hispanic and of a darker complexion, or if you're mixed. For me particularly, I am half black and half Ecuadorian, so I identify myself as an Afro-Latina because I am of darker complexion, but I still strongly associate with my Latin roots. So in this video, I just wanted to mention a person who has a huge platform, and they use that platform to express how proud they were of being an Afro-Latina. Her name is Amara La Negra. I don't know if you guys have seen her on Love and Hip Hop. She's a singer and she's just an amazing person. I feel like she represents the Afro-Latin culture very well. She likes to talk about it, to bring awareness to the fact that there are Afro-Latin people. I'm going to put her @ name right here so you guys can follow her on Instagram. But basically, when she was on Love and Hip Hop, her video went viral because she was talking about that, she's a proud Afro-Latina. She doesn't identify as just a Latin person because she has African roots. She is of darker complexion. Growing up as an Afro-Latin person, I kind of felt like I had to put myself in certain categories, like, oh, I'm black, I'm Hispanic, because people would ask me oftentimes, oh, so are you black, or you can't possibly be just black, or you're probably just not only Hispanic. But I feel like people have an image of what it means to be black and what it means to be Hispanic, when people don't understand that there's so many different types of people, so many colors, so many different features, so many everything, that you can't categorize a person, or you can't feel like they can't be black or they can't be Hispanic because they look a certain way, they act a certain way, they speak a different language. I think I'm proud of both sides of me, of being a black woman and being a Hispanic woman, because ultimately it makes me who I am. I definitely think my parents raised me in a way where I learned to embrace both my cultures. I'm fluent Spanish speaker. I, identify heavily with my Hispanic side, but I also identify heavily with my black side. I am African American. I am black. And I love my black side just as much as I love my Hispanic side, vice versa. So growing up in a predominantly white neighborhood, I think that sometimes I struggled a little bit with understanding why I didn't exactly look like everybody else. But I think as I grew up, my parents always emphasized the fact that it's okay to be unique, it's okay to be different. I feel like there was occasionally times where I'd be like, oh my gosh, my hair, it doesn't look like everybody else. My skin complexion doesn't look like everybody else. I kind of had to learn that I love me. There's plenty of people out there that look like me. And there's all sorts of different people who are beautiful, whether you're white, you're black, you're mixed, you're whatever you are. I learned that every individual person is unique, is beautiful in their own way. And I kind of had to teach myself that, hey, you're different, but that's okay, because everybody else is different too. Everybody has their own beauty. And of course, people like to argue that there's a certain Eastern European standard of beauty. If you look like this, you're considered beautiful. But I'm happy that the world that we live in today, we're slowly breaking down barriers. We're saying, hey, everybody's beautiful. You know, you could be big, small, tall, short. You could be anything, and you're beautiful because that's how you were created. Like, you were put on this earth, and this is what you look like, and you're beautiful. For this video, I asked a few people to send me questions about being an Afro-Latina or any questions that they may have. So I'm going to answer a few of them. The first one is, do you get judged for being an Afro-Latina? Okay, I don't think I get judged. I think people just assume a lot about what I am or what I am not instead of asking questions. I feel like when people come to me and ask me about my culture or about what I am, it's better than when they assume what I am. They'll be like, oh, well, I just thought you were this, or I just thought you were that. But I feel like we're progressing in society today, so why are you assuming? Just ask me. Like, I'm really open to answering any questions about my culture or about who I am. I think it's interesting that people are curious. When I'm curious about other people's cultures or who they are, I like to ask questions. Hey, are you this or are you that? Or I don't even assume. I kind of just say, oh, you know, where are you from? What's your culture? What's your ethnicity? So I feel like I don't really get judged. I think people just assume more like who I am, or they expect me to act a certain way or be a certain way because I am Hispanic or because I am Black. But I feel like these are kind of like stereotypes or like kind of cookie cutter images of what I'm supposed to act like or what I'm supposed to look like, when in reality every person is an individual. So I feel like I don't get judged. I just get like people assume stuff about me when they should really ask questions. Okay, the next question is, do people ask if your hair is real? Yes, people ask me this all the time. They'll be like, is your hair real? Can I touch it? Can I feel it? They'll try to like pull on it or something. And I'm just kind of like, I feel like this is more of like a people issue in general, not necessarily Afro-Latin concentrated. There's people, all types of people with all different types of hair. And I feel like it's kind of disrespectful to ask somebody if their hair is real. If you're really that curious, I don't know. I would just keep my questions to myself. Unless you're really close to a person, like if that's really your best friend and you're really wondering if their hair is real, I think it's okay to ask, I guess. But I feel like as a general rule of thumb, don't ask people if their hair is real. Don't really ask about their hair at all. Like, I feel like that's just something that should be kept to yourself. Okay, so one question that I got from my friend was, as an Afro-Latina, do you feel like you're fighting for a cause? So as an Afro-Latina, I don't feel like I'm fighting for a cause. I feel like I'm fighting more to bring awareness to the fact that I am an Afro-Latina, that I am not just Black, I'm not just Hispanic, and that there's a lot of other people like me, thousands and thousands of people who don't like to identify as just one thing because they aren't one thing. I feel like I'm fighting to bring awareness to the fact that people like to categorize people into certain things, like you're only Black or you're only Hispanic, or you know, sometimes people like to think, oh, you're not Hispanic enough, you're not Black enough, but there's no way to determine that because that is who I am. I am a Black person and a Hispanic person. So I feel like I'm more fighting to bring awareness to the fact that there's so many people like me. There's so many people who don't like to categorize themselves into one thing. Okay, so finally, one of the questions I had was, what is one of the biggest struggles you have faced as an Afro-Latina? Okay, I think as an Afro-Latina, I have faced the fact that people not necessarily stereotype me, but they assume certain things about me. I get certain remarks about certain things like, is your hair real? Oh, you're taking honors classes, you're smart, that's your GPA? Like, I feel like they have certain assumptions or certain ideas of who I'm supposed to be, and there's no who you're supposed to be. It's every person is an individual, and you build who you are. And a lot of times, I feel like people don't understand that your race, your skin color, your hair, all this doesn't have anything to do with who you are, how hard you can work, what your education level is, how you're supposed to speak. Oh, that's my favorite one. You talk like a white person. I don't talk like a white person, people. Like, I don't even know what that means. So I just feel like I faced certain remarks about me and who I am from the outside world. Like, they expect me to be a certain way and I'm not. I feel like a big challenge that I faced is that because I am Hispanic and I am black and I am a woman, my mom always taught me, hey, a lot of times you're gonna have to work a lot harder than your counterparts because you're black, because you're Hispanic, because you're a woman. And of course that's advancing, that's changing, we're breaking down barriers. But I've always had to be my whole life like, hey, I'm an Afro-Latina, I'm here and I can do it, and I can do it just as well as everybody else, if not better. So I feel like I've always had to carry myself with that attitude, with perseverance, because it's a hard world out there. And you're going to face a lot of challenges. For any of you Afro-Latinos, Afro-Latinas watching this, you're going to face a lot of challenges simply because of the color of your skin or your hair or what you look like or how you speak. But that should never let you stop yourself from doing something. Always show people that you're there, that you can do it, that si se puede, you can do it. You know, it's not, don't make that a barrier for yourself. We're here, we're knocking down barriers. We're bringing awareness to the fact that we're here, we're just as smart, we're just as hardworking, and we're just as beautiful, handsome, amazing as anybody else. Like, my culture, my skin complexion does not define who I am. It's just it makes who I am. It doesn't define me or what I can do or how I can do it. So I feel like that's one of the biggest challenges I faced growing up, is understanding that I can't bring myself down because other people feel a certain way about me or look at me a certain way, because I know who I am. And as long as you carry yourself with dignity and respect, you can do anything, you can get anywhere. And I feel like that's something that I've learned being an Afro-Latin person. You know, we're gonna face a lot of trials and tribulations, but life is full of them. And what you can do is just bring awareness to the fact that you're an Afro-Latin person and persevere and make your dreams come true and just make it happen. So before I go, I just want to give a huge shout out to my mom and dad, because they have always been so supportive of me, and they've always taught me to embrace both my cultures and be proud of who I am, be proud of being an Afro-Latina. I also want to give a huge shout out to my friends and my sisters, because you guys have always been so accepting of everybody that you know and everybody around you. And I feel like we are the future. Like, in the future, we're gonna be so just aware of how many different cultures and how many different types of people there are out there, and so accepting. So I just want to give a shout out to you guys as well. And I also want to shout out all the Afro-Latinos watching this. If you're Afro-Latino, comment below, comment your country, comment where you're from. But I just want to give a huge shout out to you guys, because, you know, we face trials and tribulations every day. We face so many different things, but I know we always keep a positive mindset and always be so proud of who you are, because I know I'm so proud of being an Afro-Latina. That being said, I just want to thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you guys like and subscribe. See you guys next time.